So one of the most important balances in the body is blood sugar regulation. You want to keep your blood sugar right around 95, 96, 97, right there. You don't want it bouncing over 100 because sugar is going to clog things up. You're going to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. And you don't want it dropping too low because you'll activate your sympathetic nervous system. And if it gets too low, how many people in here, you don't have to say yes or no, but experience times during the day where all of a sudden, oh my God, I can't move. I feel like I'm going to crash and burn. Or you may feel depressed. That may be or you can't think straight. And it may only last for an hour or 2 hours. That's your blood sugar crashing. Your brain can't think. Or there may be other times where you feel very anxious and you can't sit still. You start sweating. That's maybe your blood sugar going up. When you have fluctuating levels of blood sugar, you will have fluctuating levels of impairment. How come all of a sudden my nose starts running? I start sneezing. My asthma starts kicking off. My blood pressure goes. This is autonomic instability. Now, I'm not saying this is the only cause of it, but eating things with sugar, it's like going out of your way to step in dog do. Why would you do that? Probably because you didn't know any better. Fructose has a different effect in terms it doesn't raise your sugar as quickly. It has other effects that are worse because but fructose, yeah, fructose in fruit is not as good as you may think it is. As I mentioned before, I would say that fruit was designed to make us fat. God gave it to us at the end of the summer when it ripened so that we would survive the winter. We can hibernate and build up this body fat. It used to be an advantage to be fat before the winter came. Now winter never comes. We have electricity, we have refrigerators, we have ShopRite and A&P and all these stores with all these things from all over the world 365 days a year. If you're overweight, you don't want to be eating a whole lot of fruit. Okay, well, just because something's good for you in something doesn't mean that the whole thing is good for you. Okay, how many people have heard chocolate is good because it's high in antioxidants? Well, the antioxidants may be good, but does that mean that chocolate is good for you? Let's grow up, people. This is not Peter Pan. We're not living in fantasy land. Chocolate is not good for you. Okay? Just, let me address this for now because this comes up all the time. Doc, isn't this good? There's people out there, they want to sell you a product. They're going to tell you it's good because it's low in fat. It's good because it doesn't have cholesterol. It's good because it's high in protein. It's good because it has lots of antioxidants. Well, those things may be beneficial, and that may be debatable, by the way, but that doesn't mean the overall thing is good for you. I will describe something right now, and you tell me, is it good for you? It's high in protein, and it's low in cholesterol, and it's perfectly natural. Well, you don't know. How about getting bit by a rattlesnake, okay? Rattlesnake venom is high in protein, there's no cholesterol, okay, and it's all natural. Is that good for you? Well, there's lots of products out there that are the equivalent of rattlesnake venom that they're selling you because there's a profit to be made. There's a massive amount of information out there, often conflicting on what's good to eat and what's not good to eat. And one of the reasons why we have so many people that are sick is because the foods that we're eating that we think are good for us are actually poisoning us, and that goes back to what we're talking about tonight. So, orange juice is high in vitamin C. Therefore, it must be good for you. No, it's high in sugar. It's absolutely poisonous. Do not drink orange juice. It's liquid fructose. It will make you fat. It'll stimulate your autonomic nervous system. No. That's a good question. Well, what about vegetables? If you hear experts talking, They always talk about eat your fruits and vegetables, eat your fruits and vegetables. I'll say it again. Eat your fruits and vegetables, like they're the same thing. Are they the same thing? Well, heck no. There's some little kids in here. Take this young man here, put a pile of fruit in front of him and a pile of vegetables. I will bet you $5 which one he's going to grab. So how come a 4-year-old, how old are you? 5. How come a 5-year-old knows the difference between a fruit and a vegetable, and yet the experts lump them together like they're the same thing? They're not the same thing. I will discuss what you should eat. Right now I want to talk about what you shouldn't eat. Okay, we'll get to that. First of all, experts. Will Rogers once said, the trouble with experts is that so much of what they know just isn't so. I am not an expert. This is the food pyramid. Now, this is the old iteration. Okay, there's a new one. You can't put it on a piece of paper anymore, but it's essentially pretty much the same thing. The basic thing here is that you got to eat a lot of this stuff down here, and this stuff and this stuff. Let's look at the food pyramid for a moment and look at what they're suggesting and ask yourself, could you really eat this much food, and would this be healthy? They're suggesting that we eat 6 to 11 servings of bread, cereal, rice, and pasta. That means if you ate 3 meals a day, each meal would have 3, more likely 4 servings of bread, rice, pasta. Are you kidding me? Plus 2 to 4, now they're saying 5 to 6 servings of fruit, plus 3 to 5 servings of vegetables, plus 2 to 3 servings of meat, fish, poultry, blah, 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 plus 2 to 3 servings of milk, yogurt, cheese group, plus, well, stay away from this stuff. It's poisonous. Do you know anybody that eats this much? Who designed this? Who are the experts that designed the food pyramid? Where did it come from? What is the purpose of the food pyramid? Anybody have any idea? First of all, who designed it? The U.S. Department of Agriculture. What is the mission of the U.S. Department of Agriculture? To sell food, not really to sell food, to increase the profitability of the food corporations. Perishable, short shelf life. Perishable, perishable, perishable. This stuff comes in boxes, is highly processed, can sit on a shelf for months. That's the only reason it's down here. It's good for business. This is the exact food that Weston Price said, don't eat. This is the food that when introduced into those native cultures, those so-called primitive cultures, immediately caused physical degeneration. So this is it's a tragedy that the food pyramid has been used for the last few decades to guide nutritional recommendations. You want to drink, in general, let me just generalize that. First of all, everybody's different. We're all different. We look different. We have different skin color, hair texture, hair color, eye shape, height, weight, shape, size. We are very different looking. We all have, in general, 2 arms and 2 legs and 1 head and whatever, but we're very, very different. And we are so different biochemically as well. So everybody's need for things is different. And when I said before the soup needs to be just right, well, your soup is different from somebody else's soup. But in general, you want to ingest things that are as least processed as possible.